Hi everyone, welcome back to GameMaker Cast. It's Mickey, and in this video tutorial, we're going to continue our top-down shooter series. We're going to be working on the power-ups today, and we have 3 to get installed, so let's roll the intro and get right to it. Alright, so we opened up our project here, and if you're looking for the source code, you can download the initial source in the description, or you can download the full game on itch.io, or you can become a Patreon subscriber, and you can find all that information in the description below. So what we want to do first is we're going to be using 3 different power-ups. Because all the power-ups are going to be using pretty much the same code, let's go ahead and create a parent object for these power-ups. So inside power-ups, we'll create a new object, and then I'm just going to call this one obj power-up parent. Now, anytime our player runs into one of the power-ups, I want to play a sound down the road. So let's add an event for our collision and make sure that we're colliding with the player and the character object. So in here, I'll just make a note to say play sound, and we will come back to this. Now that we have our parent done, I'm going to close it, and I'm going to create the 3 different objects for the power-ups. We're going to have a power-up for health, a power-up for mana, and then a power-up for the fireball. Now that I have my different power-ups, I'm going to go to each one and assign the correct sprite. So we should be able to find them underneath sprites, power-ups, and then we have the 3 here. So I'll select the one for mana. I'll do the same for the shot. And then finally, last but not least, I'll select the one for health. Now currently, these are not parented to any of the other objects, so I'm going to load up our parent object, and then I'm going to select all 3 of our power-ups that we just did, and I'm going to drag them into children, and you can see that now they are in there. Now anytime that I open up one of these child objects, we automatically have that collision there. So we can go ahead and start coding this. So I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to inherit the event, because remember, we're going to play the sound whenever the character collides, and that's what this event inherited is going to do. So for the power-up health, this is going to be pretty straightforward. All we're going to do is increase the global hit points by 5, and then we are going to say instance destroy. So we're going to remove ourselves from the game. We can close that and load up the mana. And once again, we want to inherit the event. The mana, again, is simple. We're going to be using a global variable again and just increasing it by 5. And then we could say instance destroy. Now you can see that a lot of these are actually pretty common where we're running the inherit event and then we are destroying the instance. And the final power-up that we're going to change is the power-up shot. So we'll inherit the event, and we should have a global variable called bullet size, and let's just increase this by 0.5. Then last but not least, let's destroy this entity. Now let's load up our room and throw these power-ups in the room just so we can see if they're working. So I have my game here. I should be able to come down and I see my power-ups. We don't have any lighting here, and we'll fix that up. So I want to get hit here, and let's see if the health works. So you can see that I have increased my health even though it doesn't look like it. The mana, I should be able to shoot more once I collect that one. And you can see I can shoot a lot more, and finally, if we have coded everything correctly, we should be able to get away with bigger bullets, and you can see that we do indeed have bigger bullets. So the final thing I want to do for these power-ups is I don't want to have them just sitting in the room. Whenever we clear the room of enemies, then I want a random power-up to happen. So let's go to object enemies. I'm going to add a new event because when our enemy dies, it gets destroyed. So that just seems like a perfect opportunity to check to see if we have any enemies still on the screen. So I can do a simple instance number check to see if we have any more object enemies, and if that object enemy is less than 1, because currently we're destroying 1 enemy, so we need to make sure that we are the last enemy. Then I just want to store a variable called instance, and I'll say choose between the following. Choose between a object underscore powerup health. I'll copy these down, and I'll say mana, and then shot. Once we have that, I just want to say instance create depth at the current X and Y position of our enemy at the current depth, and then I'll use the actual instance variable. So now when I run my game, I believe the first room has 2 enemies, so let's see if we can kill them quickly here. Alright, so I found my enemies. Let's go ahead and shoot these guys. Let's kill them, and let's see if we can get a power-up on this guy. So once we kill him, come on. You can see that we currently have a power-up. Nice. So the power-ups are done. Really, the only other thing we need to do is fix up our lighting system. And we can do that by going to our lighting renderer. And in the draw event here, I'm going to close pretty much everything. I will just add these back in so we can see the lighting is going to look like. So in the lighting, we're going to pretty much do the same thing. We have torches, we have characters. So I'm going to grab the torch and I'm just going to paste it below. And I'm going to say anytime you see an object power up health, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut it out using CY and then put in red. And I will name this Powerups. And then anytime we have an object mana, I'm going to do the same thing, but change the color to sea blue. And last but not least, we have this Powerup shot. Paste it in again. And let's pick another color. Let's pick sea purple. So when I run my game, we should have different colors for these power-ups until I collect them. So you can see we have a big purple one here, or a blue. We have purple, and then we have red. It's a little hard to tell, but you're just going to have to trust me that they are the different colors. So everything is done. All we really need to do is clean up that level here, get rid of these power-ups that we have, whatever layer they are on. And that is it. That is how we implement the power-ups in our game. So the next is going to be our different levels so that we can continue to power up our character. Thanks for watching. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and a huge shout out to those who are supporting me at the higher tier on Patreon in no particular order. Angel, Lucas, Blunt BSC, Darth Wolf, Ian, Andrea, Robert, Andy, Edward, Bill, Victor, Ashby, and Paul. Once again, thank you to everyone who has watched this video, and I'll see you in the next one.